What's up, y'all? It's your boy, The Amazing King, coming to you live and in color, bringing that also amazing touch. I want to welcome you back to another episode of the Get Ready For It podcast, season 4. You guys, we're going to get into some things here, but before we get into those things, I want to go ahead and introduce you to my co-host for today, Jelly. What's up?
What's up, everybody?
Jelly, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of the Get Ready For It podcast. You ready to get into it?
Yes, sir.
And in two, listen. I call her the legend, the icon, the myth of the Get Ready For It podcast. The most featured guest we have ever had on this show. Next to my girl Jelly is my girl Nessa. Whatever. What's up?
Hey, y'all.
Thank you so much for coming back.
I'm taking the glasses.
I like the glasses too. You look good.
Thank you.
I think you have been here like at least 10 times.
I felt like it's been like 30. I'm going to say 30. I think 30 is a safe number.
Listen, anytime I can get my girl Nessa on here, I'm going to do it every single time, every chance. We got one new face in the building. It's my boy, Just Charles, in the building. What's up, my boy?
What's going on? Yo, we in the building.
You ready to get into it?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Okay, this episode is going to be mostly featured of hot topics. You know how we get down. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this up and, and see what we get into here. Jelly, make some noise while I pull this up or something like that. Oh, I'm going to press the button here. I'm going to press it twice. I'm going to press it again. And it's probably because, life and stuff like that. It's been really hard to be Nessa, I've been trying to figure out what I'm doing right now with this, and I'm finna press this so we can get into it. So it's gonna be a moment of silence. Boom, like I did that. Okay, anyway, okay. The first thing we're gonna get into is, since we got my Nessa back in the building, I want to catch up with my girl. I need to know what she been doing, how life been treating her. So what's up, Nessa? What's been going on?
Same thing. School. I think that's the only difference.
Well, let's talk about that and your progression with your school and the certain career path that you're taking right now at this time.
I hate it. Can't wait till I graduate. But outside of that, I made new friends.
Okay.
So, the friends are cool for the most part. Also, too, like when I'm realizing when it comes to these trade schools, especially in the beauty industry, a lot of things are outdated. So that was like one of my struggles when I first started, and why I hated it, because, well, from my experience, they don't incorporate black hair. And what I mean by that is, like, they're not teaching you to braid, treat, literally everything when it comes to, like, black hair. Like, it's just, okay, anyone who has, like, a straighter texture, wash, blow dry, flat iron, curl the hair, keep it moving. And I don't like stuff like that, because I want to braid, I want to do a lace, I want to do my sew-ins, my quick weaves, I want to do treatments on natural hair, grow it out. Like, I want to do all that. So, I noticed the culture changed a little bit, but it still has a long way to go. But outside of that, I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world. Like, if I could do it again, I would definitely do more research on the school that I'm going to, for sure.
Okay. So, besides the school, how do you feel about your progression with the actual craft that you're working, which is hair? Because your progression has evolved. I've seen you, like, you was at the first you were always good, but I saw something on Instagram. I think I commented. I was like, wow, this is amazing. You did some cool type of braids and stuff like that. How do you feel about your progression?
Thank you. I say, like, when it comes to, like, my progression, I feel like a lot of it has to do with, like, me just being bored, just trying stuff out on myself. Because a lot of the times, like, well, really honestly, throughout the years, I didn't care to do hair at all. Like, that was just like the bottom of the barrel to me. It was just something that I had to do because my mom wouldn't take me to the salon. So, like, my story is not, like, similar to a lot of people where they're like, oh my gosh, I loved hair, I always wanted to braid. No, my mom was like, I'm not paying to get your hair done no more. And I was like, oh heck no, like, you got me messed up. I'm not going to school looking like no chicken head. So I just started braiding and, just sew-ins, like, literally since 6th grade. And what made me, like, progress, I would say, from that moment, because I stopped. Like, my cousins, family members, they were all like, why don't you do hair? And I'm just like, no. Like, I don't want to do it. I want to be a psychologist. Because that was not my passion. But it wasn't until, like, it's funny because I was working at this call center job. And before I got hired at the job, I told myself I was never working for nobody ever again. And once I got back into the field, I was like, I hate this. I hate it. Like, I don't want to do this no more. And I just remember because I was slowly back doing hair again, and I didn't even pray on it. You know how people just like manifest like what they want to do. I didn't pray on it. I didn't think about it. I just up and quit because I knew I was gonna quit. It was right after a trip. I went on a little vacation. I quit my job. And I just opened up my books and I was like, hey, whatever happens, happens. Didn't know how I was going to pay rent. Didn't know how I was going to pay my bills. And next thing you know, God just filled my calendar for like the next 2-3 weeks. People just booked left and right. And so like since then, I just been booked and busy.
Booked and busy, because you have been booked and busy.
I have.
If I was a client, where could I find your booking schedule?
So you can go on my Instagram page. It is Nessa the Hairologist on Instagram, and the link is in my bio. So I have 2 spots where you can book it. You either click the link directly, and there's a button that says book now. You can click that, and it'll take you directly to my website. And please read everything. Oh, I cannot stress that enough. I make things so simple. Please do not be a complicated client or be like, oh, I didn't see it. Baby, you seen it. Like, you see everything. There's more info. It breaks it down even more. There's a drop down. Like, I literally have everything set in stone in great detail. So just read. Reading, you my best friend. I promise.
Hey, you guys out there, please make sure you are booking my girl and checking her out on all platforms. Her availability is open, and she's taking clients, man. And once again, Nessa, it's always a pleasure to have you here, and I'm so proud of where you've come in your career, and just keep pushing, okay?
Thank you. It was a pleasure being here again for like the 40th time.
40th time.
I love y'all.
Yeah, we love you too. Okay, we're going to get into our opening segment, which is kind of like an icebreaker. It's always the shit people say on Facebook. Basically, these are statements we have taken from Facebook, either questions or statements from Facebook, and we're just going to either ask that question or have you guys react to that actual statement that was made as well. So the first one, y'all be valuing people too late. Snooze, you lose. Shelly, how do you feel about that? Do you feel like people don't value people early in the game?
Yeah, sometimes. But then you can't just immediately up and just be like, oh, I'm going to value this person, because you don't know what their intentions are. So you kind of got to fill them out.
That's a big word. You said intentions, because in my older days, you know, I'm an old man now. I go based off of intentions with a lot of stuff. I try to, like, even when people say something to me that I may take wrong, I always say, was that their intentions to be mean? Or was that their intention to do this? So that's a good one right there. I like that.
Yeah.
What about you, Nessa?
Honestly, I agree with everything that Jelly said, because you really don't know anyone's intentions. So we live in a society now to where, like, someone can project that they're just this loving person, caring, they mean the world, and the moment you just let your guard down, it's like attack. I feel like we getting attacked now. And so, no, you definitely need to make sure you are paying attention to that person, paying attention to their mannerisms. You know, it doesn't even matter if you ask specific questions, because that's one thing that people used to love throwing out there. Like, oh, well, you got to ask certain questions. No, just be very attentive to that person. One thing about a snake, it's going to show its true skin. It's going to shed it. So just wait. You got to play the waiting game.
My man, just Charles. What about you?
I feel like at this point we're not. Most of our generation isn't equipped with the knowledge of how to actually value a person, and so we end up missing out on certain things with a person because we weren't really necessarily taught how to value them in the first place.
True.
Very good response. Very good response. That was very good. Y'all responses on that was fucking amazing. Anyway, next one. What meals did your parents make that traumatized you as a kid? Okra. My mama did not know how to make no okra, and that shit always came out slimy, nasty, disgusting. To this day, I can't eat okra. I don't care how you cook it. Fry it, saute it, chop it up, put it in pills. That shit is fucking nasty.
Not put it in pills.
I can put fried okra, but the slimy, I'm straight on.
I've never had okra.
That shit's fucking disgusting. Jelly, what about you? What's a meal that your mom used to make when you were young? You're like, you know what, Mama, you can cook everything, but this ain't hitting right
I
here.
mean, she cooked everything pretty good. I wouldn't say there was anything that bad, but the only thing I couldn't mess with was like when she used to eat sardines out of a can. Like, that's disgusting.
The things we used to do. The things we used to do. That's the same thing with Vienna sausages. I can't do them no more at all.
I used to tear some Vienna
I
sausages.
know, right? Back in the day when I was young, I can't do them bitches no
It
more.
was my friends because I'm Haitian, so the Haitian household, they didn't play none of that stuff in the can, like
Right.
no canned food. But my friends, I used to see them tear up Vienna sausages
Right.
with hot sauce.
Right.
So I used to literally beg my mama, like, can I please get some Vienna sausages? I want to be like my friends so bad growing up. But it was so good, though. It was so good.
What about you, Just Charles?
Shit, my mom made some fucking. This was her base meal. She went to chicken and noodles. I was so sick of that shit growing up. And that was their go-to meal if she was tired or some shit. Chicken and noodle. I'm tired of eating this shit. You know.
It's always that or chicken Alfredo for
For
me.
real?
It's just either. It's gonna always
Well,
be
can we
like.
talk about chicken Alfredo?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Listen,
Everybody's not good at it now.
let
They
me
not.
tell y'all. So, growing up Haitian, we have our own traditional meals, right? So I remember, like, I kept telling my mom, like, "Oh, I want some chicken Alfredo," trying to be like my friends' mamas again. And my mom, when she ended up making it, I was like, "What's this hard stuff in it?" She was actually chopping up the chicken with the bones in the Alfredo.
Oh my God.
So it got to the point where like she got so consistent with making it, and we just literally the whole household. Anytime she made a big old pot, we just would not eat it. It would be so dry, full of bones and chicken. And I guess it was one day my mama had made it. I haven't ate it in like 3-4 years tops because she turned me off. And I was talking cash shit. Like, damn, fuck wrong my mama putting that damn bones and shit. Like, don't nobody want to eat that shit. So here go my little sister always coming to my mama defense. Oh, chill out on her because she stopped adding bones. She stopped adding bones. I was like, say you swear. And I took a bite and I was like, oh, damn. My mama done came up in the world. Ooh, she came up. But that
Not
was-
stop taking the bones. Damn, she put the bones in that bitch.
No, she did.
Well,
But
she thought she was doing some chicken.
Girl, she thought she was stewing it, cooking it. She used to make it in the can with the canned sauce. Ooh, I hated that canned
Girl,
sauce
that
so
can
bad.
sauce so nasty.
Okay, next one. This is more of a statement. The best outfit starts with a bath.
Oh my God, yes.
I
This is
agree.
true.
Listen, okay, to get ready for a podcast, people out there, baths are very important, especially if you know you're going somewhere, just on a daily basis. Like, why you around people musky like that? They gonna talk about you. They may not tell you to the face, but they going to talk about you. Before you put on that new shirt, new polo, fresh kit, get your ass in that damn tub.
Imagine musk mixed with game.
That's so nasty. Or some cologne. Like when they try
Girl.
to spray
For
some.
real. And I be around people that's gonna let you know, like, hey, y'all smell them onions? You know.
Ooh.
Bad business. So before you go anywhere, you're supposed to take a bath. Especially if you know you can. I always tell people you can smell yourself before anybody else can smell you.
I believe in that
That used to be my
100%.
mama used to favorite line. You can smell yourself before anybody else, and that's motherfucking true. So
It's
you know
true.
damn well your ass before you put on that new shirt, you need to take your ass and get in the bath, or put on some secret deodorant or some deodorant in general, just anything. Okay, next one. Kevin Gates is crazy. Women really like a man to spit in their face during sex. Let's talk about this. Because that man is fucking crazy. And y'all eat that shit up every single time. Jelly. Probably Vanessa
I
too.
love some Kevin Gates. I can't help it. But
Is it spit in your face or your mouth?
This said spit in the face. He does all that nasty type of shit. I posted this video on IG where the man asked him the weather. Do you like this weather or this? This man said,
he brought up
I want to
sex.
take a bit outside
Oh,
and
yeah,
bend
I
over
seen that.
and spray a bottle with a spray bottle and fuck it. What the hell's
I
going
mean, he's
on with
just
that
really
man?
a really sexual being. So
You know what I think? I think a lot of that has to do with what he experienced growing up, like his trauma. And so I think he normalizes his trauma because he was molested as a kid. So I noticed like with people that experience that, they have hypersexuality. So it's weird. It's getting weird now because it's like, okay, it's not in the music no more. Like that's his mentality. Yeah. Like I'm just gonna continuously bring up sex time and time again. He did it on Carisha's podcast, the Carisha Please. And it's like half of the stuff I was agreeing with, and the other half I'm like, why you keep talking about sex? Like what's going on here? Like, are you not getting enough at home? Because I couldn't be talking about sex like that.
I feel like it's a little bit. It may be a little bit of attention that he's just seeking for. I think maybe because his fan base has hyped him up, he has to stay in that type of realm or something to keep his image up. Like he started off doing that, so now he just got to keep, because it's every damn time.
He's doing it at his concerts and everything.
Yeah,
but sex sells, so
that's definitely true too.
It does sell. I don't know. I think also too, like when it comes to the fans and your audience, sometimes they get tired of the repetitiveness, and they're like, okay, what's next? So he's gonna have to wrap it up.
That man said, "Do you like the weather?" Rain, this man said, I want to take a bit out there and bend over. What the fuck?
And I don't agree with spit in the face at all. I just want to put it out there because
very disgusting.
No, listen, like when I was a kid, I have a lot of stories. Right. So when I was a kid in 6th grade, seventh grade, I would never forget. I had a friend, he was Indian, and like, you know how kids back then, like they just had their little girlfriends and boyfriends, they all just always tonguing each other down. And it was like one period of time he was just gone from school for months, and he was literally my only friend in that class. So I was trying to figure out where he went at, and he came back and he called Mono. So since then I don't play that whole spit and kissing any and everybody because that traumatized me as a kid. Like I'm literally learning Mono in middle school and they're not teaching it in class. Like that's insane. So
we don't do that spit and shit around now.
You got to think about it. If you spit in a person's face, are you going to let them spit back in your face too?
I think that
I'm not on that.
I don't know. Like,
what you mean you don't know, Joe?
No. Look, like,
we not shaming it. If you let a little saliva in your mouth, in your face, it's okay.
There is just like a disrespectful spit.
Okay.
Nobody's really spit like in my mouth or nothing like that, but I'm not gonna knock something I haven't tried. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's a good.
See,
for me, like if my man wants to try some like off the wall shit, like, you know, I'm finna try it at least once, and if I don't like it, then
I think.
How do you know if you don't like to get spit? Is it when the spit hit your face, you're like, wait a minute, this spit is just
like
too heavy?
Some people they got an issue with their man's sweat like dripping on them during sex or something. Like I like that shit, like sweat all over me. I don't care. So
See,
it's just like
I want to piggyback off of that. The only time I'm gonna have an issue, and I did have an issue, was when I had mink lashes, and the sweat got into my lashes. And me being a little lazy, I didn't wash my face right away, but my eyelids started to swell up.
Wow!
So I realized I got bougie during sex. I'm gonna just put that out there.
Damn, that was a bad experience.
It was a real bad experience.
Next question, the last one out of this segment here. Define your ex as a hotel.
I don't know.
The
like
fucking
Holiday Inn.
red roof.
The red roof.
Red
The
roof.
red roof.
Just everybody that had them. Shit.
Damn.
Cheap, convenient. You know, somewhere to lay your head.
I'm gonna give mine a Hilton.
The Hilton.
I would say like the DoubleTree at least.
They said the DoubleTree.
Nicer.
That's a nice one. That's the Hilton.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Okay, he was there.
I don't have no issue with him. Like, I mean, he did what he did, but he wasn't a bad guy. Like, it just didn't work out.
And what about you, Jelly?
Yeah, I don't really know because it wasn't that bad. But I would have to probably piggyback off of like what she said. Not the Hilton. I ain't giving him that much.
You can't get a Hilton. That's what I stayed at the Hilton on my last trip. That shit's so nice and expensive. Ooh.
Yeah, I give him the Hilton because, like, I don't know, like we had our moments, but like overall we were good. I think out of everyone I dated, that was like my best boyfriend ever.
Okay.
Yeah. I wouldn't take him back though.
Okay. At least you can give credit where credit is due, though.
Right.
Okay. So that was the last question in that segment. So I'm going to start asking my boy Just Charles a couple questions regarding him because he is an up and coming comedian.
Let's do it.
So I'm going to ask you the first question. Who was the first person that you can recall that made you laugh?
that made me laugh.
That made you laugh.
My dad, really, he's a funny guy. When I was little, like 5, 6 years, I can remember just him, the stuff that he says. Oh, you motherfucker! All of this stuff, you know, he cursed us out. I remember we asked our dad one day, like, why you curse so much? You curse almost every other sentence, and he just responded, "Bitch, hoe, pussy," you know, like, and it made me laugh so much, like I knew he was a funny guy then, and it inspired me to, take on the.
So when did you realize that you were funny? Like when that moment, like, oh wait a minute, I'm a funny motherfucking guy. How the hell did this happen? When did you realize that you were funny?
I'll say I realized I was funny mainly in middle school. You know, when I became to know myself and get to be out, you know, from up under my parents. Getting to be social with the other students and just, you know, on daily interactions with them, not even trying to be funny, you know, just the fact that they were laughing at the stuff that I was saying and doing, you know, I just realized then, you know, I had a natural thing for it.
Okay. So what made you pivot and start doing stand-up? Because I've noticed that you have started to increase your pursuit of the comic dream. Excuse me. What made you start pursuing it more?
I don't know. It's always kind of been a dream. I remember 10 years ago, I thought about it, and then I kind of stopped. And so right now I do construction, and we're in the Orlando area, so they have us stand up there. And that's like one of the hottest spots for comedy. So I started going out, just watching the shows, and then one night I just ended up getting up there and doing it, and I fell in love with it, you know, and every night after that I've been doing it, you know, ever since.
Okay, so let's talk about your first stand-up experience. Talk about that. How did that go? How was that experience? Were you nervous? Did you mess up? Did you get booed? Did you get heckled? Let's talk about that. How was that first experience?
So the first time I did stand up, it was only like 2 people. It was only 2 people in the audience, and both of them were comedians. Of course, it was raining that night, so only comedians came out to the open mic night. But it wasn't as nerve-wracking as I thought it was going to be. It's really just the process of actually telling the story and keeping the people engaged and trying to make them laugh with the details. So the first time, it was a breeze because there was nobody there. It was just me talking.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to ask you about something. How do you handle when you know that it's not hitting with the crowd, but you still got to finish it? You got to still finish the set. How do you handle that? How do you persevere through that?
So most of the time, I'm gonna be laughing at my own joke. I don't give a fuck what the people.
I know that's right.
I don't give a fuck what they think. You know, I wrote this joke and I rehearsed it, and it's making me laugh. It made me laugh when I rehearsed it. It's making me laugh on this stage.
Right.
So that's just enough for me to keep going through the joke. Eventually, somebody's gonna laugh at what I'm saying or something that I did. So I just keep that in mind as I go through the jokes.
Okay. Now we kind of talked about who was the first person that you could recall making you laugh, but which comedian inspired you the most?
Okay, well, the guy that answered this question, the guy that I'm about to name, he's not a famous comedian. He's really here local in Tampa. His name is Taurus. And back in maybe like 2012, he was probably an up-and-coming comedian then. Where I saw him at was the Red Star on, I believe it's Florida. They were doing an open mic night. And when I saw him, he was up there and he was doing his thing. It was maybe about 5 white people and me and my friends. And the whole time I'm laughing my ass off. I'm just laughing, you know, looking at him. And it really inspired me just to see him up there because I had never really seen a comedian start from the bottom. So once I saw him, it really inspired me to get into the art of it. Okay.
So who's your favorite celebrity comedian? Who do you find, like Cedric Entertainer, Bernie Mac, Steve Harvey?
That's a tough question for me because I like all of them. If I had to truly pick one, I would say Cat Williams is one of my top celebrity comedians. Just his energy and the things that he talk about, you know, during his shows. Him as well as Dave Chappelle. It's just the style of comedy they do and the way they set their punchlines up is just amazing. You know, he could say a punchline in the beginning and then tell a whole story and bring it all the way back to the end where you're still laughing at the same punchline. So
if Just Charles, if I came to one of your shows, what can I expect from you? What can I expect to you, Just Charles, if I come to one of your shows?
You can expect a lot of cussing.
Big cuss words or them small cuss words?
It's a lot of them big compound cuss words, adjectives, adverbs. I just like to vibe with the crowd, though. Like if you come to a show, it's definitely going to be a vibe. I'm gonna talk about general subjects. I'm gonna talk about personal subjects. Most of my comedy is based off true stories, so the things that I tell, they are true. This stuff really happened. So you just, when you come, you're gonna get to know me, the true me, who I really am through the show.
Where do you see your career going? Where be a comedic, a comic is not the easiest thing, but where do you want to see your career go?
For a short-term goal in the next 5 years, hopefully I could have attended a comedy school maybe, just to learn more of the arts of it, and kind of build my own enterprise as far as entertainment business to put myself out there a little more. Like right now I'm just in the beginning stages, so maybe for another year or so I'm going to just, keep doing the open mic nights. Hopefully, if I get good enough at it, I'll open up myself to doing book shows. But within the next 5 years, hopefully I'll be, headed up in more competitions, headlining more shows versus just doing the open mic nights.
Okay. If I wanted to come hear one of your shows, where would I need to go? Well, how does that work? Do you have a set location that you typically do your open mic stand up at, or you just go around? How does that typically work?
So right now, because I'm so new at it, I'm just hitting spots as they pop up. I haven't done anything here in Tampa yet. I haven't put anything out there because like I said, I've been out of town for work. So I haven't put anything out. I'm right now just getting to practice. But I'm working on my social media pages and my YouTube page. So when I do return to Tampa, hopefully that's going to be December. I'll have all of that set up, and you all will be able to go on there, see where I'll be at, see what I'm doing, and all of that good stuff.
Okay. Where can they find your social media handles at?
On Facebook, you can find me at Charles T. Watts. On Instagram, you can find me at Don't Blame Mr_Charlie. On TikTok, you can find me at just_jokes1004.
This is my boy, Just Charles. Thank you so much for answering those questions. Make sure you guys support him on every single platform that he's on.
Yes, sir.
And
yes, sir.
My boy coming to the big time in the big leagues, my boy. So we're gonna keep it in the realm of the funny. Let's do a little discussion here. Who is the funniest male comedian that you guys know? It's definitely gonna be Kevin Hart for me or Bernie Mac.
I wanted to say Kevin Hart, but I didn't want to.
No, that's just
Kevin Hart's a given because he's such a. We got to take him off the list. Like he's.
I can't never. I gotta keep him and Bernie Mac on my top.
Yeah.
Those are my top two right there.
When Martin Lawrence was doing stand up, I'm gonna give it to him. Martin Lawrence, hands down, was like my favorite male comedian. And then him having his show didn't make it any better. So I'm gonna give it to him.
I like Martin Lawrence because he's a physical comedian. Like he can he throws his stuff
very
around.
animated.
He's very animated like that. That's the type of comedian that I like.
Just goofy.
Just goofy as fuck. The class clown. Just Charles, what about you?
Once again, I'm gonna go with Cat Williams.
Okay.
Just the way he is. I mean, since he was on Friday After Next all the way to now, man,
He talked a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Cat Williams is definitely a great comedian. I think
Smell
we
like
need to give him
pneumonia in
flowers.
Definitely got to give him them flowers.
Okay, so we did the male. What about the females?
I'm gonna give it to Monique.
I gotta give it to
down.
Monique, hands down.
Monique for sure.
Hands down.
Really?
I do like
Yes.
Tiffany Haddish too, though.
Oh,
Dang. Boo. Okay.
well, there it was.
I don't care for Tiffany Haddish. Like,
Not at all.
and I say that because I watched Tiffany Haddish when she started off in plays. Like, when I don't know if y'all remember when BET used to do the plays on Sundays. So that's how I knew of Tiffany Haddish, and she was not funny then to me either. She just gave like typical. I'm gonna be like the stereotypical black ghetto woman, and I hated that because it's so much more than that, like what she could portray. But I will say, outside of Monique, I mean, the list goes on. And I don't know if you remember Andell from the Parkers.
I would go.
Yeah.
With,
Yes,
yeah,
she
Andell
was
pretty funny.
hilarious when she did stand up. Some more. I love some
I love some
more.
more too.
Couldn't really get into Linnell. It was a couple more.
Adele Givens is a good one.
Yes, Adele Givens is a good one. I forgot the lady's name. She was off of Ghostbusters. You remember her? I think Leslie.
Jordan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! The first time I watched her stand up, it was on HBO years ago when I was like growing up. You know, we had no business watching HBO. And I remember she told this joke on how she called herself wanting to be a part of the Olympics. And she was on the shower ride, and she was saying how her grandma came in there with that belt and tore her ass up because she broke the shower ride. And like when I say she was so animated, like she was hilarious. So just seeing her like coming up in the world now as an actress, I just thought that was so dope because you just literally never know where life takes you.
Right.
So I want to give them their flowers. They did that. Shout out to the female comics, man.
Right.
You don't see too many of them.
You don't.
So who was your favorite one, just Charles?
I'm gonna go with some more. Personally, she's just so out there and raw with the comedy. You know, especially as a female, it's already hard to be a comic,
Right.
And then a black female on top of that. So to go out there and just shut it down, you know, every time I can applaud that.
I want to ask you guys a question regarding Tiffany Haddish again.
Okay,
Come
quick
on with
question.
it.
I want to add something.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
do want to give a shout out to my play cousin. Her name is Lisa Maggie.
Okay.
She is a upcoming comedian in the Tampa area. She's pretty funny, so y'all check her out.
Make sure you guys check her out. So the Tiffany Haddish, how do you guys feel about that situation that she is going through with that video that she did years ago that came to the light, and basically, her career is kind of like taking a very like a rap tank. How do you guys feel about that situation?
I think it was very distasteful that skit.
I think so too as well. Do you know about the skit, Nessa?
Yes, I know about it. I feel like it was distasteful, but back then that was funny. I think that's what people are forgetting because literally nothing was off limits when it came to the jokes.
Right.
R. Kelly was a lot of the butt of the jokes back then.
Right.
Like, so for them to have done it, it's like, yeah, now because of today's society, like you can't make, like everything is overly sensitive. So of course people are going to be like, oh no, their career's over. We have cancel culture now. Back then you couldn't cancel nobody for nothing. So, but I feel like also too with whatever happened behind that pilot, I feel like they just looked at it and was just like, it's just not funny enough for us to release it out there. But I do feel like Lizzo fans are behind why the video got exposed because the video was sitting on YouTube for years.
Right, that's true.
Literally for years. And I'm not going to say it went unnoticed, but I feel like if you're not in the industry of being a comedian, you definitely weren't going to know about that project. But of course, because it hits the general audience, and like you hit earlier in regards to how our generation was not educated on a lot of things, so our trauma, we joked about it. This generation, they're not joking about trauma. This is something that you shouldn't take lightly. So, of course, everyone is going to be in an uproar. But, I mean, I feel like if we would cancel their careers over that, is so many other people whose careers we would have to cancel as well because they've done things just as bad, if not worse. But in that moment of time when that pilot was introduced, that was acceptable.
But I also think at the same time, it had to do with the kids, the mom not knowing what their kids was signing up to do at the same time.
And I'm going to touch bases on that too. So she actually did know. So that was an issue that Ari Spears touched bases on. She knew. And what she was trying to do was extort them for more money because she already got paid for it. Now, as far as the kids, I agree that I feel like they did not know what they were signing up for, of course. But it just comes to a point where, like, that's the issue at hand. These parents are signing up they're pretty much selling their kids. And parents have been doing that for, like, God knows how long. It's just that now, you know, like I said before, because of the culture that we're in now, she could capitalize off of the situation. situation now, because they're not going to just shun it away because back then it was acceptable. Now it's like, no, it's not acceptable. Let's talk about it. Let's address it. What are the repercussions coming after this situation? But I believe it, don't quote me, but I think the case ended up being dismissed because they've already gone to court about it before years ago. She just wanted to capitalize again off of the uproar that, you know, everyone was in. But I also didn't like the fact that when people seen it, they immediately were just like, oh, they're raising awareness. That was not raising awareness. That was just a bad joke. Like, literally, it was a terrible joke. Like I said before, like back then, everything was off limits. Like you had Family Guy, American Dad, you had South Park, like literally even off of like our favorite black shows, they made distasteful jokes. So
the Chappelle show,
literally the Chappelle show, I'm gonna piss on you. Like Chappelle's career took off 10 times more just off of his show alone because he made so many distasteful jokes. But I feel like also too, it just depends on who it is as well, because a lot of them got away with, you know, making jokes like that. But like I said, with Aries Spears, he already made that comment on Lizzo, and you know, people don't, like I said, we in today's society, people not playing about stuff like that no more. So I already know her fans is behind 100%, and like it's more videos of him coming out of distasteful jokes that he's made as well. He portrayed himself as a gay man, so everybody took him down off. His career is over. Tiffany Haddish, I feel like is
she
still
got caught in the crossfire.
Yes, she definitely got caught in the crossfire. I still believe that there's hope for her, but I think she's just doing the best thing right now just by not saying anything at all in the media.
How do you feel about that, just Charles, about that topic?
I kind of feel the same. I mean, they made the video, but how many people's already seen this video up until now, and it wasn't a big deal. She says she feels like, you know, the Lizzo fans were behind the leak of the video, but if it's been on YouTube all these years, and YouTube didn't even take it down, you know, YouTube will take some shit off if it's not according to their guidelines. So personally, it's just a terrible joke. It's a joke that it wasn't funny. I mean, I was cringing watching that video. So
yeah, I couldn't watch the whole thing.
Yeah,
I would say yes, it's definitely a cringy situation. Tiffany Haddish, what is my expectation of where does she go from here? I mean, honest with you, I don't know, because the perception is everything, and I just don't. I'm thinking about how Hollywood treats people for who have done a lot less than that, and it's never good. And I remember TMZ was talking to her. She was like, "I lost all my jobs, all her jobs," and she had just really she fought hard to get her career.
Right.
And it's definitely unfortunate to see that now it's going to completely tank, because they're not going to forget that. That's going to be always asked. What about that video, Tiffany? What about that video throughout her whole career? So I just don't see how she bounces back, but I hope that she does get the opportunity to bounce back.
Her fans are her fans. If they're really for her, they'll still come out. You know, that video shouldn't.
It shouldn't.
Fans, you know.
And also too, I think it sucks as well, because like Tiffany Haddish did what a lot of mothers do. Like they're leaving their kids. They don't care who are with the kids. They're not really, you know, paying attention to that person that's around their kids, and the whole time the kids are getting touched. That's a lot of people's story. So I don't believe that, honestly, like they should even get attacked for something like that, because like I said, it's people in the industry that has literally done worse, that are sexually assaulting people, that are raping people every single day, and they are like your major producers, major directors, like they're super super big in the industry, and people know this of them, but it just always gets swept under the rug. And I don't like how black people are always made as an example. That's one thing I'm getting sick and tired of. Like, if we're going to sit there and penalize one person, we need to go down the line. Don't pass on to this person, pass on that person because they're your fave, or, you know, they're the moneymaker. No, like, they are too. So then what? But I don't know. That's just how I feel about it.
Okay. And what is the funniest movie you've ever seen?
That's hard.
It is?
It's a lot of funny ones out there.
I think my favorite one, the funniest one that I think has always made me like cry, is like Friday. The last one. I think the last one is Friday at the Next. is the funniest one out of the trio. That
See,
shit's so
really,
funny.
I think it's next Friday for me.
No, Cat Williams is so fucking funny in that one.
He
That bitch
was.
it smell like pneumonia in this bitch. That shit is hilarious. It's hysterical. What about you, Jelly?
I don't know. I like How High too. I thought that was funny too. I don't think a lot of people did, but
What about you, Nessa?
I'm such a movie person,
Mhm.
so I don't even. I think I'm gonna have to go with Woo with Jada Pinkett Smith. Woo was a hilarious movie, so I think I want to give it to her because like Jada literally was like the epitome of crazy. And I say like throughout the entire movie, my favorite scene was when she heard how the guys were talking about her and she was in the bathroom and she came out acting crazy and started burning stuff, lighting it up on fire. And the whole time they were just like, oh hell no, this bitch crazy. Don't even know like she is on to y'all ass like, oh y'all think I'm cute, y'all think y'all sexy, I got something for that. So just her role, hands down, like she executed it. I don't think anybody would have did a better job than her.
I liked her role in Babs too.
Babs, she was
she
so
was great
funny in Babs. Oh my gosh, I
Another,
just love Jada.
another question for you guys. Did I get your? Did I get your?
I don't know. I'm gonna go with Life though. Eddie Murphy.
Oh, that's
Life
a good
was a
one.
good one.
White only pie. Oh, I'm from New York. Oh, there's so many quotes in there. I can go through.
Yeah,
I
that-
can-
Eddie Murphy was so
Oh,
aggravated.
yard. Oh, yard, boy. Shit, I use that to this day.
Eddie Murphy was so aggravating in that movie.
For
Martin Lawrence was getting sick of his shit.
Oh, that scene when they old and he's like, why are you looking at me? For real.
They improvised that scene. That shit was hilarious, man.
True comedian.
You and the boss man been mighty friendly lately. That's so fucking. Oh, that shit is
got up
fucking.
your sleeve.
Oh God. Okay.
Hey, I gotta go watch that.
Yeah,
when I
that's
leave
fucking-
here.
that's
Oh my
fucking
God.
Yeah, that's a
Hysterical.
classic, man.
Okay. Do you guys find Caucasian comedians to be funny?
Yes,
Yeah, definitely.
there definitely are some funny comedians, white comedians out there.
And not the Caucasian community comedians that base their set off of black experiences or the ones that try to portray as black acting.
Oh, I intentionally don't watch those comedians at all.
You know, there's a couple. I'll be honest with you, I don't find none. I can't name one right now. Gary Owens is funny, but that's because he bases a lot of his set off of the fact that he was married to a black woman. So that's how he kind of tells his jokes.
And he's been around for years.
Yes.
He with the black community
Right.
from Comic View and stuff like that back in the day.
So I find him funny, but Larry the Cable Guy, it's gonna be a no. I just can't. It's just not.
Majority of white comics, I don't even watch their shows, not to be biased, but it's just, not my type of thing. But
Right.
the newer guys that I see at the open mics, like they're hilarious because they're saying, off the wall stuff that you just wouldn't think a white person would get up there and say,
There are some funny ones.
It's gonna
I'm
be
not-
a big no for me.
It's some funny ones.
Jelly said yes.
But I'm
Nessa said
goofy.
yes.
I like to laugh. So, and I watch their movies too. Their movies are pretty funny. So I'm gonna give credit where due. Oh, watch The Other Woman. If y'all have never watched The Other Woman, that I think of all time, that's like my favorite Caucasian like comedian movie, because literally it's about a woman. She was married to a man. She found out he had a mistress. And then they found out that he also had another mistress. So then like more and more mistresses came out the woodworks. But then the top 3 actually became friends in the end. But like that whole storyline, because she was older, I don't remember her name. Let me look up her name.
who wrote that? Tyler Perry?
I'm crying. No.
Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry. Y'all watch Sisters?
No, that's that BET show. Mm-mm.
Yes, it's so good.
I watch Abbott Elementary, and that's about it.
I love Abbott Elementary.
That last episode was a hint, no, but yeah, I do watch Abbott Elementary. You found it?
Yeah, so it's Leslie Mann. Leslie Mann is pretty funny.
Carmen Diaz. Okay. I'll make sure y'all check that out.
What's the name of it?
The Other Woman.
The other woman, okay. We're going to play a quick game. The game is called What's Your Next Move? These are, so I'm going to make a statement, and then I'm going to ask you what is your next move. Okay? Y'all ready for it?
Okay.
Okay.
Let's do it.
You walk in the house and you find your spouse cheating. Do you attack your spouse or do you attack the other person? What's your next move?
You have to attack one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'll attack my spouse because he know better. You got to check your man before you check the lady.
Yeah,
Nestle?
I agree with Jelly.
I'm definitely in agreement.
And also, too, I might set him on fire.
Yeah.
I like to go to the extreme. I feel like when you try me, you just want me to go there. So let's do it.
What do you say, just Charles?
I agree on attacking the spouse. I wouldn't set him on fire, though, especially if it's my house. You just, hey, out the door,
Okay, well, that's different in your case perspective because you're a man. But, like, as a woman, his house is his name probably on the house. So there you go. You have her, the house, and your burning ass on fire.
We here to get ready for a podcast, a corporation. We don't condone violence in any type of way.
That's to do. Beat his ass. That part.
Next one. Your mom and dad are divorced, but they both want you to spend Christmas and Thanksgiving with them. What's your next move? What house you going to? Your mama and your dad's house?
My mama.
Yeah, I mean, I might split it up, though, to be honest.
Ain't no splitting up. You can only pick one or the other. That's what the questions say. That's what it's based off of. One or the other.
Well, I'm definitely going to go to my mom's house.
I think I'm finna go to my mama's house, too.
She can cook.
Dad.
I would probably feel sorry for my dad, and knowing that he can't cook and he was by himself. I'm gonna go with my dad. I can't let him go that
So are
hell
you
like
gonna
that.
cook
I
in
bring
your
him a
air
plate
fryer?
from my mama's house.
Huh?
Bring
You
him
gonna
a
cook in your air fryer?
Yes,
Oh,
yes. This what you mean? Gyro will still be open on holidays and shit.
But that's sad. We supposed to have low vibrational plates, and you about to eat gyros.
I can't even watch that whole clip. That fucking statement.
I watched that whole clip. She is tacky.
yeah, that's crazy.
Sucking her fingers and pointing.
Low vibration.
Throwing spit in that lady face, legs wide open. You half naked, talking about some low vibration that's not royalty. Girl, please.
Next one. You come in the home. You come home to find out that your two kids broke your PS5, but you only have enough energy to whoop one. What's your next move?
That's a hard one because I don't got no PS5 and I don't care about no PS5. But I'm not gonna whoop neither one. Like it's either they both get whooped or nobody get whooped.
The oldest getting their ass whooped first.
No, why?
You supposed to be head of the household when I'm at the house.
Oh, that's the problem. That's why kids are traumatized now.
You supposed to be head of the household when I'm at the house.
That's why kids are traumatized now because of that. It be the baby. I'm gonna tell the baby ass because my nephew, he showed out today. He showed out, and he's the baby out of the two.
I let the oldest one be responsible over the house, and you let the PSP get filed. You get this ass
Is the
whooping.
oldest one paying bills?
No, he not.
Oh, okay.
But he was given a certain responsibility.
Okay, and he can't help that the baby done terrorized the PS5 and broke it. That's
He
not
could
his.
have been watching him properly.
He could have watched him and still haven't been able to do anything. Then
My
what?
first question would be like, how I get broke? Or
The
I
baby.
wasn't paying attention. You weren't paying
No,
attention.
they be paying.
You weren't paying attention.
You know what? You going to jail.
Straight to
You don't
jail.
go to jail for whooping children. You go to jail for beating on children. There's a difference.
Child whooping and beating is the same thing nowadays.
Discipline.
It's the same thing
Yeah, they
nowadays.
don't let you do nothing.
Exactly.
The Bible says, spoil the child. No, spare
Spare the
something.
rod.
Go ahead, say it.
Spare the rod and spoil the child. That's
Exactly.
what the Bible
She
says.
got
We
your
ain't
back.
sparing shit.
Look, you know these kids so bad. They in some states they're talking about bringing the paddle back.
In the school.
Listen, you hit
Yes,
my
in the
You can hit my
schools.
other. If you
Because
put your one
these
thing on my
kids
child, it's
are
gonna be a problem. I'll beat your one
ridiculous.
thing ass by
I
that.
couldn't even.
Okay, but you have to sign a waiver. They're not going to intentionally do that. But you have to think about it. If you're not parenting your child at home and your child coming up to school cutting up, why you think it's being implemented now?
Hell, you even still even if you discipline your child, they still coming to school acting a fool.
These kids
But-
bringing guns.
And that's why
to
mamas
school
got to
now.
come to the house and to school, moo woos on and shit like that. Come and get little day day in them because they didn't show that in front of class. You know.
But I feel like, you know what it is? I feel like it's a lot going on at home.
Okay.
And I feel like that's why kids act out regardless if they're getting a whooping or not, because no one is actually like really paying attention to them. And I say that because I've experienced that growing up, because I went through abuse. And I know when I had this conversation with one of my good friends last night, her little brother, she had no idea that, you know, he's in therapy at like 12. He does therapy sessions twice a month. And this whole time they didn't know until yesterday at grandma's house, and he just busted out crying. He's crying because he's not getting like attention at home, and he's getting abused at the same time. But nobody knew that. So when he's at school, he's acting up, and that's why. But for him to break down and cry in front of, you know, other family members that he's not around, that's literally a cry for help. So that's literally what's going on with these kids. Nobody is really paying attention to them. I always say, like, the baddest kid in the room need the most attention, because they just want to feel that someone is there and someone cares and someone actually loves them. So if a child is not getting that at home, of course they're going to act crazy. I've been around some bad kids. Like I said, my nephew, Kyrie showed his behind today. All because I told him to clean up his mess. Y'all would have thought I was in there killing the boy. I'm talking about he just came in the bathroom, stood there just screaming. I had to put my hand on my hips like, you is crazy. Like what is going on here for real? Because I don't yell at kids.
Right.
Me and kids get along. But it took for me to actually have a sit-down conversation with him like, listen, you know you don't get whoopings for real. Why you acting like somebody in here beating you? Like, just clean up. All I said was clean up. And he finally calmed down. But like the way I say with him, he's the one out of a million exceptions. You would think that he's not getting attention. He gets too much attention. But he tries to throw his age around, because that's what a lot of people do. Like, oh, you're the baby, you don't know any better. No, he knows a whole lot better. But as far as like the badder kids, I've dealt with bad kids. I don't like to call them bad, but I've dealt with, like, you know, the kids that got less attention my whole life. And what I will say about them is I've noticed a difference when I interact with them and when other people interact with them. And I take my time. I'm very attentive, and they know that they could come and talk to me naturally. Like, I don't have to push my authority onto them. I don't make them feel less than what they already are feeling. Like, I like to build up confidence. So these kids, they just need attention. That's just it. And they cussing their parents out. So
we got two more. You get a call from your best friend stating that they done killed their spouse. What's your next move? Hang up the phone and going back to sleep, letting the police handle that shit, because I ain't finna be intertwined in no Lifetime and they interviewing me on why the fuck he called my phone.
Right, because you already in it soon as they call
what?
you. That's my thing. Hang up the phone.
Yeah, I got kids, so I can't really help you too much on that. So
I can't get in it.
Can you imagine Lifetime calling you, hey, we just want to do an interview with you, but
I'm gonna take that money.
Exactly. if they cut the check, how much? Hotel fee paid?
All I
Free
know is
food?
he called me first.
What happened? I got a call at 12 o'clock at night. It was a call. He said he made this statement. I hung the fuck up, went back to sleep. Saw the shit on news and everything. Mama calling my phone. I ain't pick up for her either. Shit. That's what you doing. If your best friend calls and says that I done killed my spouse.
I'm not saying anything that's going to incriminate me later on.
There you go.
A solid person there, because y'all talking about you ain't got do shit for them. You ain't calling you like you ain't right. So Jelly said that she ain't doing shit with her best friend.
Yeah, I mean, she could talk to me, but as far as me going over there helping her clean up a crime scene and all that other stuff, I ain't doing all that.
Just Charles.
That's it for me too. Just the conversation, and even then, because you incriminate yourself listening to them. So I would, for real, hang up the phone like you.
They
just
on
told
the
me
phone
that.
and they gonna put me. I'm a witness stand.
Yeah.
Judges asking me questions. I'm gonna trip up and lie, and then something I'm gonna end up in jail.
I don't
What
want
the
to have
fuck?
to do that. I don't want to have to go through that.
I'm being subpoenaed because I talked to your ass at 12:01. You done killed her ass at 11:05. Hell.
Right.
Last one. You find out that you got an STD, but you know you've been faithful. What's your next move?
Now I'm finna be in Orange.
Nessa, what you doing?
Somebody getting beat up.
I mean,
That's just my response, because I don't play with my health like that. So
I'll be honest with you, that would be the first time I probably lose my damn mind.
Definitely, health is important.
I'll be like, you what? Huh?
Yeah.
I probably, I'm dead as I probably go to jail. Dead ass. I'll be in jail. And definitely it's like one of them lifelong ones. Oh, you got me fucked up. I got to take a pill every single day.
I'm not gonna lie, that's so scary because like I'll never forget. I got another story. Are y'all ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I remember like years ago, I had discovered that there was a free health clinic in Ybor. I believe it's still there. Right, there you go. So, I found out, I was like, randomly, I'm going to get a STD test and HIV test. I'm like going to get the whole 9 yards. I think it's called like a prep test where they test for everything. And it was just random. Wasn't sleeping with nobody, wasn't dating nobody, but just to see, because you could literally never be too sure. And the way STDs are set up nowadays, like you can go years without any symptoms at all and you would not know. So something just randomly told me, I love starting shit, by the way, very messy. So something told me, call up every nigga in your phone and ask them when was the last time they got tested. Every single last one was like, no, I have not gotten tested. I can't remember the last time, but why are you getting tested? Are you sleeping with somebody? I'm like, no. Like, I didn't think you had to sleep with someone to get tested. I thought that was just something that you should want to do.
Right.
And they were like, oh, well, I don't get tested. Da, da, da. I'm like, okay, well, and at the clinic, they give you a free big old bag full of condoms. I don't know if they still do it, but at the time they did it. So I grabbed them. I was researching the different brands that they put in there. So I was like, okay, well, what type of condoms you wear? They was like, I don't wear condoms except Magnum. And I'm like, oh, y'all passing that shit around. Mm-hmm. That's literally the conclusion I came up to. Like, y'all are passing shit around because, for one, if you actually do research, like Magnum condoms throw off a woman's pH. So that's why there are other brands. And then for two, for you not to get tested until you're sleeping with someone, a lot of the times with men, correct me if I'm wrong, just Charles, but from the research that I've done, a lot of times men are dormant to STDs. So like I know one of them, as far as like chlamydia, y'all won't even have symptoms at all. So you can have chlamydia and you can pass it on to someone. Sometimes. Yeah. And then with the women, they won't know until they catch it. Yep. But then you could go to the doctor, you get tested for it, it still may not come up in testing. So I'm like, how do y'all like think that that's okay to just, like I'm just not gonna get tested regardless if you're sleeping with someone or not. Like you just won't get tested until you get that call like, hey, you need to go get tested. Like to me, I just think that that's insane as a person as a whole. And then it's like, especially nowadays, I feel like the whole sleeping around has gotten worse because people normalize like having sex with being grown. Definitely. Like, oh, I'm gonna sleep with this stranger because I'm quote unquote grown, but you don't know where that person has been. So you're kissing, you're touching, you intertwining with the liquids, and you don't know what you're going to get, and then you're not going to the doctor right after. So it's just, I don't know, I just think it's insane. And I practice safe sex. My friends, they call me the condom police. So I'm always telling them, like, y'all need to start using condoms for real. Like, you just really can't put nothing past nobody. Like, I honestly can't remember the last time I had sex without a condom, because just hearing that from them, I was like, yeah, I'm
definitely
good.
Yes, I also do believe that everybody should, get tested properly. Make sure that you're getting tested for more than just HIV, because there's a wide variety of STDs out there. So make sure you hit up your local clinic. Some of y'all out there
you should be able to go to your primary doctor. That's the problem. Everybody doesn't have a primary doctor. Mm-hmm. Like I get an STD test once a year at least, Now, if a phone call come through, then that's something else. But it shouldn't be coming through, so...
But see, it's so crazy because, like, how they only call you if something's wrong?
Right.
I have my doctor call me whether it's even good news or bad. Yeah, because...
Like,
call me for real, because it's like... Don't play with me like that. Like, I need to hear from you. I don't want to hear like, oh yeah, you haven't been. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't consistently go to the doctor all the time. But unless like, I don't know, I just get like a random urge, like, okay, let me go get a checkup. Because normally like for women, we get our We get our PAPs. So we're supposed to get it like January, February, the beginning of the year. So I normally don't get my PAP until like later on. That's when I decide to get a job because you know they gonna pay for it except me. But like I'll go later on in the year. But I just be so happy. Like she be like everything is fine. Like every time I go to the doctor, she be like everything is fine. You good? Stop stressing. But it's just like you just never know. And like. Every day the news is spinning something real crazy, so I just don't even want to take that risk.
For real.
In Hillsborough County.
Oh, girl, let's talk about it.
Oh, it's high here.
It's so high and they wonder why too. Like I remember a girl, she asked me, she was like, "You don't date nobody in Tampa, do you?" Hell, motherfucking no. A bitch in Tampa is not touching me. I don't give a fuck what the fuck going on because all y'all sharing the same. Well, I can't say everybody, but for the most part, everybody is messing with everybody in Tampa.
It seems that way though.
Yes, like it's sick. Like that is disgusting to me. A nigga could barely get a phone conversation out of me. I'm always egging a nigga. So I can't imagine.
Okay, before we wrap it up here, we're going to talk about a couple of hot topics here. Joe Budden, I believe that's how you pronounce his name. He is facing a lot of backlash because he said that he fakes putting on condoms. This is his statement that he said. He said, "I done walked into a corner and faked like I was put on a condom before. That was my poor execution of my plan after I mastered it, which was just busting through a condom. Let me go find the thinnest condom in the world." So this was a statement that he made on his podcast that he fakes on put on condoms. Jelly, Nessa, Just Charles, how do you guys feel about this odd, weird statement that he would say out loud?
I think it's disgusting, but it's a lot of men that have done that. So he speaks for that crowd of men that have done that. I don't agree with it. I feel like it's, like I said, I feel like it's disgusting because like we just touched on health. I don't know where you been. So if we come into an agreement to where like, hey, you need to put on a condom, that's what you need to do. If you don't feel comfortable putting on a condom, we shouldn't be having sex. Why do you feel like it's okay to just still enter me under false pretenses of you using protection? Because now, like those type of men, they like to play the role of when the woman gets pregnant, she mentions it, oh, that's not my child. Like, it's instant, that's not my child, or I didn't give you anything. But how do you know? Because of that decision that you made. So I highly disagree with it. And if he joked about it, he's just a disgusting individual. So I don't even care too much about Joe. But like I really don't even have nothing nice to say. So I'm just gonna end it at that. Y'all take the floor.
Just Charles, what do you think?
The fact that he joked about it is definitely distasteful. Don't get me wrong. I know a lot of men have done it. I personally have never done that. Of course, if a female say put the condom on, just put it on. But in a certain aspect, just like a male can tell the difference without a condom, I'm pretty sure, the female can tell the difference as well.
And we can.
Which is how we end up in the situation of, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure you knew or you felt that, which is why he probably felt it was okay to say it because the difference between the two. I mean, but it was distasteful,
What about you, Jelly? How do you feel about that?
It's definitely weird.
Definitely
it's a
big
weird
on the
flex,
weird.
but I don't know. I just feel like he also don't care about himself because if you're entering a woman unprotected, you don't know what she got either.
Right.
So you're not even thinking about your health when you're doing stuff like that.
I would agree. I think it was something, once again, so certain things supposed to stay in your mind and you supposed to dead ass take that shit to your grave. And those are one of the things that he should have kept that stupid shit to himself.
That was the real dumb.
What the fuck was that shit? I was like, what the fuck? Isn't that crazy? Okay, next one we're gonna talk about Tia Mera. She was married to this man for 14 years and they have decided to part ways. Lately, I've been noticing a lot of these celebrities getting divorces and separated and being cheated on. What's the hell going on? 14 years. They just giving that up. 2 children, I believe. How do you guys feel about that? Jenna, how do you feel about that?
I mean, it got to be something that they feel that they can't work out. So 14 years is a long time to be with somebody.
The gentleman did say it had nothing to do with cheating. What he said, it had nothing to do with cheating.
Are not connected like they use. That chemistry is not there. That fire is not burning. So why keep wasting time? Like, we're in our 40s. You know,
14 years is a long time to be with one person.
Just because it's been 14 years, though, doesn't mean that their relationship has been working, a long time. That just means they stayed together 14 years, They could have been going through stuff maybe for the last 5 or 6 years that nobody knows about. And now, it's just too much to deal with, and they're letting it go,
You're right, because I think a lot of people, they go through that phase of we're going to try to stick it out for the kids.
Right.
Or no, we're going to make this work or make this happen. They probably have passed that stage a while ago. So it's just surprising. You know how you see people do interviews, they look so happy, but behind closed doors, they're nothing of the sorts. And you get this surprise, because they've been together for a long time. They've been together for 14 years. I think they knew each other longer than that. They just known each other for a long time, and just to completely wipe it, I was very surprised. But it had to be something. Probably died, like you said, communication, chemistry. They just it became a routine. How do you feel about that, Nessa?
I feel like people are getting tired of each other. I just feel like people are getting tired of each other, and you get tired of constantly repeating yourself. So I feel like that plays a part into why it can't work out, because just like you said, Jelly, like, the fire burns out, right? But when the fire burns out, are you just going to let it burn out, or are you going to work back up to it again? Because you guys had to be somewhere at one point for you to feel like, yeah, we're going to keep going, And also, too, like, people just get tired of trying. They get tired of trying with that person. And sometimes, like, especially if you haven't experienced dating, too, like, I feel like that plays another huge part into it, because now you want to see what else is out there. You don't want to keep trying with that person like you were doing before. So and sometimes, too, like, I'm not going to say the reasons aren't justified, but I feel like it's, like, different levels to it. Sometimes it could be mild. I look at, like, the 80-20. I remember Tyler Perry touched bases on that, and Why Did I Get Married? And I'm a firm believer in that, because you can have 80%. You'll never have 100% of what you actually want in your person. You can only have 80% or 20%, but the 20% is just going to be the outer appearance. The 80% is the outer, and also what they bring into the table. They're going to have flaws, so I feel like that plays a part too. So.
Okay. And one last hot topic. I say this one for last because he's such an amazing, great person and such a class act. My boy Kanye West. How do you guys feel about his White Lives Matter shirt and his action that he's been displaying in the media for the last couple months? Jelly, how do you feel about Kanye West?
He's seeking attention.
Do you think it's like an imbalance, a chemical imbalance? Because it's something.
I really think he's smart as hell, but he tries to play dumb and tries to do stupid stuff for attention. Like, I don't know. That's my thought.
Just Charles?
Kanye's kind of always been weird to me. So when I saw it, it wasn't something that I would not expect from him. The reason behind him saying, the Black Lives Matter movement was a scam, so he went ahead and did that. Just the fact that he's forgetting it's not about the money that they collected on that Black Lives Matter. When they made that Black Lives Matter up, it stood for something for the people. You know what I'm saying? We're not just saying that white lives don't matter, but right now, Black lives are at hand, and we need people to know that they actually matter. So
I would also concur on that as well. I do believe that with Kanye West, there's something going on, but I do believe that his mental health does play a bit factor. And I think that because he's a billionaire, it's really hard to reel him in. If he was like a little bit of a lower celebrity tier, it would be kind of easier to reel him back in. But when you got that much money at your disposal, it's really hard for anybody to tell you what the fuck to do or to tell you need to seek help, because money does honestly rule a lot of shit. So I think until people stop supporting him and his clothing and stuff like that, Kanye West is going to keep doing those antics until he's broke, which doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon. Right. I'm not wishing him brokenness on him, because he's a very successful man. He has done a lot. This is the same man that went on national TV and said George Bush doesn't like white people. Black people, excuse me. So I hope what whatever's going on, I hope one day he finds the peace that he's looking for.
He contradicts himself a lot because this is the same man that like felt like Kim Kardashian couldn't have a say so in her kid's school choice because she's white, but now white lives matter. Like it's like stuff like that. Like I'm just like, what's the point? Like where are you getting at with this? Because it doesn't make sense. I do feel like his mental health does play a part, but Kanye, he know what he doing. He just want attention. Right. It's just like when he exposed a text message. Diddy was like, "Hey, I'm coming out the plane. I'm gonna meet you." He a devil. He this, he that, and the third. But you just call that man your brother.
Damn sure did.
And same with Boosie. He called Boosie a nerd.
Yeah.
Boosie is not. He is far from a nerd.
Right.
I'm not gonna say he's not educated. He's not smart. But it's like, come on now, like you just saying stuff just to say stuff. It's just like, remember years ago when he did the interview with Sway, and Sway was asking him questions pertaining to what we see now in the future, but what Kanye West said, you don't have the answer, Sway. He got so irate, like Sway didn't know what he was talking about, but then turned around and was like, yeah, all along he did have the answers. Like I just feel like he's just going off the rail. He's being a Gemini, right? And I say that because I'm friends with Geminis. They're very two-faced. You don't know which person you're gonna get. Girl, listen, I done dealt with a lot of Geminis. I don't know. Look, I can't put nothing past y'all. My daddy is a Gemini. He very two-faced. Lord. I got one of my really good friends. She's a Gemini. I done seen her head spinning with her going off. So, baby, I had to leave her alone, and she came back to her senses. So it's like you just can't put nothing past them. I feel like definitely that's also his personality. Mm-hmm. Like he just feel like he's right. You can't correct him. He's gonna stand on it until something happens in life, and then he's just like, yeah, I should have just shut up.
Yeah, he does a lot of apologizing and then saying and doing the same shit, and I just want
he's on an ego trip.
We go all pray for him. Okay. This has been another amazing episode of the Get Ready For It podcast. You guys make sure to check me out at AmazingIam_. Make sure you check out the podcast page at ReadyForIt_1. Jelly, where can people find you at again?
On Instagram, JellyBelly603.
Just Charles, where can they find you on social media platforms once again?
Once again, on Facebook, you can find me at Charles T. Watts, Instagram at Don't Blame Mr_Charlie, and on TikTok at Just_Jokes1004.
And Nessa, the icon, the legend of the Get Ready For It podcast.
Say that.
Where can the people find you at once again, my love?
You can follow I have a TikTok page now. So I'm working on being, up, I guess, but you guys could definitely follow me on there. It's Nessa period or whatever, and you can also follow my hair page, Nessa the Hairologist.
That's a wrap, y'all. Get ready for it.